Great Lakes. Look at this storm. It stretches all the way from Texas right into Arkansas and Oklahoma, and then back up towards Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, and is streaming right towards the Atlantic Ocean. We've picked up a mix of some sleet and snow. Everyone's gotten something different today. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down what we've seen so far, how roads are doing at the moment, because they've changed throughout the day, and then we'll talk about one more round of snow. See this guy right here? One more batch of some leftover light snow reporting in Oklahoma. That's going to be moving into western Arkansas here in the next couple of hours. We still have some snow at the moment, especially east of Fort Smith towards Clarksville and Paris. Northwest Arkansas, we're getting a break from Fayetteville to Bentonville at the moment. But that heavy snow that we had earlier this morning continues to push into Indiana and Ohio as things start to ramp down for us. We're still not completely done. Right now you see some of those flurries lingering in the River Valley, a couple heavier batches over Johnson County and Logan County, Franklin County too. But this batch of snow will be our final round. This is not a lot, but this one could actually provide a little bit more accumulation. We already have a solid base of especially snow for Benton County and Washington County, Carroll County, Madison County. In the River Valley, we have more of a base of sleet, a little bit more snow once you head in towards eastern Oklahoma for Sequoia and LaFleur, but more snow is coming in later this evening. It won't be as heavy. We're getting this live stream ready, so just hang tight for a moment. But right now, let us know what you've seen so far. We'd love to get your reports. We have some reports coming in from the National Weather Service, and I'm going to share those with you. And then we can share some of your reports with the National Weather Service as well and get kind of these maps updated. That'd be great information. We've been talking with the National Weather Service all day, giving them updates because it helps fine-tune their winter storm forecast. We're still under winter storm warnings area-wide. So it's been a busy day. Hopefully you guys have stayed warm, stayed safe, but a good dose of winter pushed through throughout the day today. So we're going to continue to track what's going on this evening as snow continues to fall. At least it's not as heavy. So let me push this off to the side. We're streaming live on all our platforms, on our app, on our 5 News website, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And if you have the 5 News app, you're about to get a push alert. Your phone might buzz for a second. All right, closer view at home. Arkansas, Oklahoma, still getting a mix of some sleet now towards central Arkansas. They've got a lot more ice, but man, we picked up a little bit more ice than we were honestly originally expecting throughout the River Valley. We had a hard time dropping our temperatures south of those mountains, and so we picked up a little bit less snow from Fort Smith, Van Buren, and Greenwood, Hackett, Boonville, and Paris. But we have some snow ongoing right now. I'll show you some of the cameras here in a second. You can see some of the snowflakes flying around. We have Joe Ellison and our photographer Luke, our chief photographer Luke, there in Fort Smith right now. They're going to give us more updates throughout the day. We have also live crews throughout Northwest Arkansas, Fayetteville to Bentonville. Right now we're getting a break. Now every once in a while you may get a stray snowflake kind of flying around, but the heavy stuff has moved on out. More snowflakes flying in from eastern Oklahoma and into central Oklahoma too. That one more batch of snow is still kind of west of Tulsa. There's a couple of these kind of outliers here and there towards Lake Tenkiller. But you go west of Tulsa, some more snow coming on in. But right now, the heaviest snow is reporting from Logan County and into Johnson County, where we haven't picked all that much up throughout the day because we had so much sleet fall last night. Some folks picked up 1 to 2 inches of sleet, and it's not the same thing as snow when you're talking about accumulation. So you can get an inch of sleet, but it doesn't quite look at it because all those grains are small. They're little ice pellets, and they kind of fill in between the grass, where snow will actually stick to the grass and to the ground. So an inch of snow looks higher than an inch of sleet, but we still got an inch or 2 of sleet throughout the River Valley. Man, things got icy. Some of us had some big icicles form too with that freezing rain. I tell you what, it is very slick throughout the River Valley. We have more ice-covered roads for Fort Smith and Greenwood and Hackett, Ozark, Clarksville, and Paris. More snow-covered roads once you go north of West Fork and Greenland into Fayetteville, Bentonville, Hiwassee, Gentry, Gravette, Rogers, and Salem Springs. Right now, this is the latest update on the snowfall. We had more sleet south of the mountains, more snow north of the mountains, but one more batch coming in. Some of the latest snowfall totals coming in from Benton County, anywhere between 6 inches to 9 inches. We had a 9-inch report on the west side of Beaver Lake towards Prairie Creek. We also had another 9-inch report just north and west of Crystal Bridges towards Bella Vista. 7 inches in western Carroll County. This is just west of Eureka Springs. Madison County, we had about 5 to 6 inches for us. Washington County, about the same, 5 to 6. You see that about 7, maybe closer to Springdale. Then you head south of the mountains, and we have more sleet that's kind of mixing in with some of the snow. But some of us have picked up about an inch or two of snow. Fort Smith, Van Buren, Alma, these are reports coming in from the National Weather Service that official observations or official observers have sent in. And then a little bit more once you head eastbound. We got the coldest air to hit Benton County, Washington County, Carroll County, Madison County, and then that cold air just wrapped around the mountains and into eastern Oklahoma. So we had a little bit more of that snow in LeFlore County and Sequoia as well, and then more sleet and a lot of ice too throughout the river valley. That's where we've had most of our power outages. They've been kind of on and off throughout the day. We had power outages in Greenwood a little bit earlier today, then also power outages throughout Johnson, Logan, and Scott County, and we may continue to have some on and off, but it looks like the icing threat is now over, but we still have that winter storm warning in effect, and the National Weather Service has pushed it back now until 3 o'clock. Originally it was at midnight, so they've added 3 hours because we have that one final batch of snow coming in a little bit later this evening. We'll have more on the timing in just a second, but area-wide winter storm warnings continue, not so much for the sleet, but now for the snow. They continue also towards central Arkansas, and then ice storm warnings up the Mississippi River, eventually up towards Ohio, Illinois, and Kentucky too. So a lot more ice back east. Man, it's cold though. Finally, we're well cold enough throughout the river valley from Clarksville 26, 24 in Fort Smith and Van Buren. Now, if we get some precipitation, it'll pretty much be all snow. In northwest Arkansas from Fayetteville to Bentonville, we're in the teens and 20s, but it feels a lot colder. It feels like it's only 6 right now in Bentonville and Bella Vista. Feels like it's below 10 right now in Fayetteville and Greenland and Springdale, and even colder once you get towards Carroll County and Madison County. We've got some mid-single digits. I know the numbers aren't popping up on the map, but it is a little bit colder once you head towards Huntsville. Live look in Bentonville. This is what we got. This is the damage that's been done. You're looking south of the home office. That's Walton right there. Some of the lanes are starting to not completely clear up, but it's more of a, we were just driving out on them a little bit earlier. It's more kind of a slushy, kind of now a brown, black snow after several tire tracks have gone over, and you're seeing some of the roadway now exposed a little bit. But temperatures are cold. That could turn a little icy. So even though it looks a little bit clear, some of that could try to turn into ice. But right now, folks are kind of just traveling right down the middle of the 2 lanes. There's 2 lanes on each side of the road, just traveling right behind the next person, just trying to make sure we don't cause problems. That's what it was like on I-49. 3 lanes on each side of the road, but you're just cruising down one makeshift one, just to try to make sure your tires can get as much traction. But you look towards the grassy surfaces, they're all covered. Parking lots are completely covered. We got a good dose of snow in Bentonville, some of the highest snowfall totals in and around Benton County for us. This is a live look in the river valley. Now, it doesn't look like much snow, and we haven't got as much snow, but a lot of this is sleet that's still around there. And if you look really closely, especially towards the trees, I know it's hard to see, but there's still some snowflakes flying around in LeFlore County. From Poto to Picola and Cameron, Spiro, Shady Point and Panama, we're still getting some of those isolated snow flurries. Of course, you got big icicles too. It's hard to not notice those. You're looking actually towards about downtown Fort Smith. There's the Arkansas River, downtown Fort Smith, kind of out yonder that way. But those snowflakes continue to fall, mainly in LeFlore County and Sequoia County, and into parts of once you head towards Logan, Johnson, and Scott County too. This is coming in from RDOT. This is the latest update on the roads. Once again, you can always just type in iDrive Arkansas, zoom in where you live, see how the roads are doing. Not every road's had a sensor, but most of the main roads do. On I-40, there was a new accident. Time now about almost 3:40, about 3:12. So what, about 30 minutes ago, we had an accident on I-40. We've got ice patches and slush reporting on I-40. It's pretty much crazy travel as you go from Fort Smith all the way to Russellville and Little Rock, and then more ice patches and just solid ice for Boonville. Paris getting some of that ice too. Mount Magazine, the scenic byway there, getting ice on the roads. A little bit more of a snow-covered event as you get farther west. 540 has snow reporting on it, and then ice patches and slush right down Rogers Avenue. And then as you head east towards Charleston, we're getting some of those slush reports too. In northwest Arkansas, it's mainly just snow. Everyone's got the snow. Benton County, Washington County, Carroll County, Madison County. There could be a couple ice patches on some of these, especially once we melt some of that snow with the tire tracks. Then temperatures continue to get colder tonight. There could be some refreezing. Just be on the lookout. Bridges, I tell you what, it's crazy. As you're driving on I-49, you may have an inch of snow underneath you, but then you get to a bridge and there's almost 2 inches. It was just able to stick a little bit better for those bridges and overpasses as cold air wraps around them. But snow reporting on I-49 all the way from Fayetteville to Bella Vista. Once you head south of, that one's the MLK, I believe once you head south of Razorback Road, the road sensors are more indicating ice, solid ice on I-49 all the way through Greenland and West Fork, Winslow, Chester, Mountainburg, and south towards Alma. Then once you hop on the I-40, we're getting a lot of ice patches throughout Crawford County from Alma and then towards Mulberry into Franklin County, Ozark. But Ozark, just east of Ozark on I-40 is where we have that latest accident. National Guard has been working the roads too, big time. Several rescues. We were driving on I-49. You saw the Humvees out trying to pull folks out, state troopers all out. And so we're really thankful for our National Guard and for ASP. They've been doing an amazing job and kind of putting their, their lives at risk too. Some of them were trying to get stuck, trying to help other people get stuck. Then you got to bring in more people. So it's been a process, but we're really thankful for them as they've been reporting to so many folks that we're starting to slide off a little bit. The shoulders are crazy too. So there's 1 or 2 lanes that you can travel right now on I-49, but then you get towards the shoulder and there's a solid 3, 4, 5 inches of snow. You get into that and then it's hard to move because remember, we had a layer of ice first in Washington County and Benton County. Ice and sleet wasn't as much as the River Valley. Man, we picked up a lot of ice for us and even more once you head towards Little Rock. But there's that layer of ice underneath some of that snow. So even if it looks like that fresh snow, it's still a little bit slick underneath. You head towards Madison County, we're snow covered in Huntsville. Hinesville, we're also covered in Eureka Springs to Berryville. So things are slick going all the way around Beaver Lake, and as you head south to Lake Fort Smith, a little bit more ice. The mountains have been difficult to travel on too. But where do we go on our road conditions from here on out? Because a lot of folks have asked, how is the weekend looking? Am I going to be okay? Well, it looks like right now we should be okay. I mean, there could be still some snow and ice on some roads, of course. It's hard to exactly predict when that will melt off all the roads, but you get more traffic and things should start to melt and temperatures will be warming up. They're not going to warm up tonight. In fact, a lot of us are going to drop towards the single digits and then wind chills will be below freezing. Below zero, I should say. I mean, they're well below freezing, but below zero, so it's going to be chilly. But for your Friday morning commute, we're going to be once again out and about tracking how the roads are doing across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. But I do think by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be done with the snow. And there's not going to be a lot more snow tomorrow morning. Most of that batch that's coming in is tonight. Anywhere from 5, 6, here in a couple hours, 5, 6. To about midnight, and then I think we wrap things up. We have some flurries going on in the River Valley right now. You saw them live in LaFleur County, but they'll start to wind down by tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, the sun's going to break out. That sun's really going to help things. We may not get all that much above freezing tomorrow, but I tell you what, the sun can help do wonders. And then this weekend will melt a lot more because that south wind's slowly going to start to come back. In meteorology school, we do this problem. It's called the snowman problem, and we take a snowman. I forgot how many pounds of snow we made a big one too. But then you have to calculate, it's more of a physics and thermodynamics problem. You calculate what melts snow faster, sun or a south wind. Guess what? The south wind wins every time. The sun, of course, does melt the snow, but a lot of it reflects off first because it's got a white BO effect. Anyways, the south wind is what's going to help us this weekend to really melt the snow. And so if you are traveling, especially through the mountains, be on the lookout for the next 24 hours, but this weekend should start to fare a lot better. Okay, that next band of snow is going to be moving on through. How much more can we expect? We really have not gotten a lot of snow in the River Valley. Boy, do we have sleet and ice, though. We are not, skimping on that. But with this one more batch, we're talking about just very light accumulations coming in this evening. Maybe an inch. Just plus or take, everyone's going to get something different. But our best guess is that expect maybe up to an inch for a lot of us later this evening. Not a whole lot more, to be honest, than what we already have. And then maybe 2 inches or more throughout the mountains. And then snow continues to ramp up as the storm is still ongoing towards the north and east. And that's why you see more of those colors. But I think Fort Smith, Van Buren, there's a chance for maybe an inch of snow and maybe 1 more inch as you head towards the River Valley east of Greenwood, towards Paris and Clarksville. We don't have a lot of snow at the moment. It's snowing and a little sleet every once in a while, but we should definitely maybe get a few more flurries. We'll see if we can try to get an inch in Scott County, Logan County, and Clarksville. This is not where we're expecting the most snow, but we're still trying to get a little bit. In Fort Smith, Van Buren, we've really struggled on our snowfall totals, but we may try to squeeze in another inch here soon, and then 2 inches once you head north of Mountainburg into the higher elevations of the Boston Mountains. So where do we go from here? We're chilly the rest of this evening, but snow flurry chances continue all the way past midnight, and then we'll try to ramp things down tomorrow morning. There could be a stray snowflake flying around tomorrow morning. And right now we've got the flurries ongoing in the River Valley, getting that break, and then those chances start to go back up a little bit later this evening, and that's when we'll try to pick up maybe another inch or so. We'll have to see. Look at Futurecast. That band of snow comes in from Oklahoma. It's going to be light. It's not going to be as heavy, but area-wide we'll continue to pick up some of that light snow, and that's where we'll try to pick up maybe an inch or so. And then we try to wrap things up tomorrow morning. And the edge of the clouds, it's not going to be too far. Tulsa will clear out first, and then slowly throughout the day we'll work on our clouds. In fact, by lunchtime, there's a chance we start to get a lot more sun. I think it may take us just a touch longer. I think this model is aggressive, to be honest, but we'll see. Hopefully that's wrong. We'll get more sun throughout the afternoon, though. And then mostly sunny skies this weekend. It's going to be beautiful. Temperatures warming up. Low 40s for Saturday, mid to maybe even upper 40s on Sunday as those southwest winds start to come back. And that southwest wind is what we really need to start to melt some of that snow. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to back up the radar, too. We got our 5 news first at 4 coming up. We'll have the latest updates, and Darren and Erica have a lot of updates on power outages, more of the news side of weather, and then we'll have the forecast for you again. We don't get to talk as long in the newscast, only get a couple minutes, so these lives are really helpful to kind of break down a few more things. I'm going to back up towards the map. There we go. That's the final batch of snow that we're watching out for this evening. Shouldn't be a huge deal, maybe an inch or so coming out of this. Right now it's hitting Oklahoma City, north towards Stillwater. It'll be coming in across the state line shortly. But we still have some of those snow showers right now from Fort Smith. We're getting some in Pensacola and Poto at the moment too. You saw them on a sky cam in Pensacola at the Choctaw Casino. And then Paris and Clarksville, we're still getting some of that snow at the moment. I'm going to log in. Hopefully you guys are staying warm. Let us know how much snow or sleet that you got. We will take those and we'll pass them along to the National Weather Service, and we'll update this map too. We need to continue to fill this in. Most of the snow reports are north because we've had more snow just in general. It's a little bit harder to measure sleet, and we've had a lot of sleet throughout the River Valley. Fort Smith, though, some of us have picked up an inch of snow, and a lot more once you head west of Sallisaw. You get into eastern Oklahoma and the snowfall totals go up, but it's been mainly in eastern Oklahoma, and then Benton County, Washington County, Madison County, Carroll County event on this one. All right, I'm logging in. Let's see what you guys' reports are. All right, Heather says thank you. Michelle says thank you. We're really big thank you to ASP and the National Guard for helping us out throughout the day. Kevin says he's ready for spring and thunderstorms. That's next, right? I tell you what, the first half of the year is always busy. We get snow from January and February, and then we switch over big time towards severe weather, and then the back half of the year is usually not as crazy. We usually slow down, of course, in summer. Summer is kind of dead and just hot, and then fall is usually a great time of year. Show Rogers Avenue camera, please, Melanie. That camera actually went down just a couple moments ago. I was going to try to show it, but it went down. Engineering is working on that right now, too. And that's the problem, too. Some of these cameras really struggle with some of the ice and snow. You build up a bunch, and it gets difficult. We'll continue to work on trying to get that camera up, but we had it up a little bit earlier. We had it up overnight tonight, but that one continues to have a few problems with the ice on it, and we got a lot of ice in Fort Smith, so that's the difficult thing with this forecast. Snowman for sale, must assemble, Betty says. We got plenty of snow out there, right? Let's see. Latricia says she hasn't heard many of the roads being plowed. When we were out there, we saw a lot of plows, but it depends on where they're trying to work the roads. You know, they have a kind of an elaborate system of what they're trying to work, so we're thankful for the plows that have been out there. They've been working on, we saw some brine still kind of being thrown off at times, and ASB reporting to those accidents, so they're hard at work. They've got all hands on deck. We talked to them this morning. We had them live on our 5 News first at this morning with Laura and Ruben and Tyler, and they were talking about kind of the plans. I'll have to see if we hear anything from Eric and Darren. They're working on more the news side of things. We got some snowfall totals. Let's see, snowing in Ozark still. Yep, so we're finally getting that snow east of Fort Smith. Let us know how much snow you got, Jessica. Let's see. Andrea says still snowing in Alma. The River Valley, we're finally getting some of that snow. Tiffany says we live in Montanay. You got the snow there. Jimmy says still snowing hard at Gore, Vienna, and Oklahoma. That's really interesting too, because you look towards western Sequoia County. Notice how the radar isn't showing much. The flakes may be smaller at the moment, but there could still be a lot. But radar is very difficult when it comes to winter weather, but we're still getting that report of the snow right now in western Sequoia County. So thank you for that report. But just be on the lookout this evening. Snow continues to fall. We're going to have our newscast, 5 News, first at 4. Darren and Erica are going to be live with me here coming up very shortly to talk about what's happened and where do we go next. What can we expect with the roads for the rest of the week and into the weekend? We'll have all those updates for you guys later this evening. Once again, we're on at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and we'll continue to do some more live newscasts on our digital platforms throughout the evening. All right, make sure you keep it local, keep it here. Of course, we'll keep you advised. See you soon.